Peace. This is Pierre logging on again. I want to talk to the world about relationships after long-term incarceration, after doing 27 years, introducing myself back into society and trying to get into relationships with family, opposite sex relationship, trying to get into relationship, just trying to get back into life and get to some normalcy with building a relationship with lady friends and dating. Some of those obstacles have been causing me a little anxiety and a little stress in some areas. Just trying to see if I can be accepted and back into the dating world. I was leaning to my own understanding and trying to get out and meet people, just going out in public places, just trying to, befriend people has been a challenge. Sometimes when you're interacting inside the prison walls and you've been dealing with a lot of men over the course of years, you lose touch with society, you lose touch with the sense of your emotions, because you have to be hardened, and sometimes you have to wear a mask when you're dealing in a different environment like that. And then when you get out and you deal with people of the elements of freedom, you have to get yourself back into dealing with more humanistic type people with more human elements. Coming from incarceration is a different lifestyle than dealing with people in freedom. And it's not just dealing with opposite sex, it's not just dealing with women, with men alike. The challenges I ran into was just trying to find myself and understand if I am actually fit and suitable for a relationship. I don't never doubt myself. I don't never underestimate myself when it comes to that. But 27 years from being in touch with society and dealing with dating is different. It's a lot different. The world has changed. A lot of ladies have changed with their thought processes, the age process. I'm 58, I'll be 60 coming up here in 2 years. So I have to figure out, when you're dealing with people in different genres and different nationalities, it can become a challenge. You run into a lot of different situations. A lot of people out here don't mean you no good. A lot of people don't show natural love. A lot of people are master manipulators, and you can come across some real bad situations. I've dated, I can say, possibly 3 ladies since I've been out. A lot of them have been some beautiful ladies, physically, mentally, spiritually, on my level of thinking. But what I found was a lot of the problems was myself. I didn't really have a core element of thought process of where I wanted to go in relationships. I had to realize and make sure that it wasn't just for lustful purposes. Was it for long term, short term? Overall, when you coming from incarceration, you have to decipher the difference of you being celibate for all these years. That's a spiritual thing. You can resonate with yourself, get in tune with yourself. Your body take on a whole lot of different meanings and different feelings. So, but when you get out, you have to understand when you approach these ladies, a lot of people don't want to embrace the fact that they've been incarcerated. Me, myself, I always embraced my incarceration because it made me the man that I am now versus who I was. I became redefined, and I understand the level of love, life, and happiness. I understand that females and women are the best thing God did for mankind. You have to be careful when you choose them and not to abuse them, and perhaps you'll never lose them. You have to understand that when you go into a relationship after being a man of incarceration, it's a challenge for that person you're trying to date as well. So you want to be honest with her straight up. You want to, let her know how much time you did, what you was in there for. You don't want to never have to live a lie. So that's the first thing I start off with when I meet people. When I'm getting ready to try to date, I let them know who I was versus who I am now. And I always let them know my ulterior motives are not negative. And just try to, I met a lot of lady friends that helped me get back on balance emotionally and help me get back in tune and intact with myself, spiritually. Sometimes you can run into opposite sex people and talk to them, and it don't have to be dating, it don't have to be about sex, it don't have to be about lust. You can just have an opposite sex friend that can bring you back into society and, just see you for who you are and help you in the elements of dating. You can find yourself in relationships that you didn't really want because you was moving too fast because it was a lustful situation. You being out of society and away from elements of sex and just physical presence of a woman is different. Some guys, I never underestimated myself. I never had a fear factor when it comes to approaching women or talking to women. But I noticed since I've been out and I try to go and meet people and introduce myself, it was a challenge for me because I had that one thing in the back of my mind that, I'm an ex-convict, I have to share that. And then you want to know how people feel about that, but you want to respect people's feelings, and if they don't really want to be around a person like that, like yourself being an ex-felon, you have to respect that. You have to embrace that and understand. A lot of people are not comfortable with being around people with a criminal past, but me myself, I just like the fact that I can be honest, and that's the most important thing when you try to enter in a relationship. So that after doing that for 27 years, that's who I was. So in introducing that in the first part of my conversation is comfortable for me. There was a time where it wasn't comfortable, but I've come to embrace it. So I've met a lot of ladies out here, a lot of sisters out here that would embrace that and wanted to talk about it and wanted to hear my story. And they can see the change. I had a lot of people tell me they can see the change that knew me back in the days versus who I was and who I am now. But it's a comfort level for me to be able to enter into relationships and just not on, physical elements about sex. I was without physical relationships for 27 years. Being celibate and not really thinking in that aspect, it let me get a whole new meaning of life and love in itself. When you go out into society and you see a lot of different people, I just missed in relationships the holding hands, the walking in the parks, the going to the beach. The simple things about relationships became more visible to me. The things that I didn't do, just you don't have to have a whole lot of money when you go out to date. Like I say, going to the beach, just looking at the ocean and getting to know her. What kind of music she likes. Just simple conversations is things that I missed. So after being able to get out and do that and enjoy that, you really get a brand new meaning of life and freedom, and it makes you understand about where you're gonna go going forward, and somebody that you can find somebody that's more compatible with you when you're honest like that, and you open up and you be sincere, and it's really comfortable not have to live a lie, have to be a master manipulation, a womanizer. Those are the things was like a thing of the past that I probably was endeavoring in. I'm not proud of some of the things I did in my earlier years of relationships with my kid's mother and things like that. So, but I can really accept who I become. I'm a gentleman now. I'm more respectful. I came up with a love, life, and happiness motto. You get 3 looks when you look at a woman. The first look is of God. The second look is of man. The third look can be deemed uncomfortable. It just depends on how she receives the third look. So you have to be respectful when you're dealing with women out here and ladies alike. So by learning that, I fancy myself to be a gentleman. I've come a long way. So relationships is something that I'm really trying to, build right now and become a part of my life and my newfound self and being out here in society, because relationships is healthy. Without relationships, you don't want to really be out here and be an isolatory person and be, you don't necessarily have to be a physical relationship. You don't have to have a girlfriend and things like that. But just dealing with people overall is a healthy thing. Being antisocial can be, more relative in contribution to your mental health. That don't mean you have to just go be with everybody every day and have everybody in your world, in your house. But it's okay it's healthy when you get out in public and interact with people and meet new people. It can be really healthy and therapeutic.